Hello everyone. So today I'm very happy to present to you guys a full depth review of the all-new 2016 Volvo S90. And special thanks to McGinley Motors, Mazda, Land Rover, Peugeot and Volvo for allowing me to come down here and review this car for you guys today. For all contact information in regards to this dealership, please see the description box below. So in today's review, we'll be taking a look at the interior of the car. I'll explain how all the features work, also start up, look at the engine, go over the performance data and take the car on a detailed test drive. So like the new Volvo XC90, the S90 also has this newly designed Volvo key fob. Very nice design. And all the buttons, which are usually located off to the back, are actually integrated into the side. So this here is your panic alarm. And you also got your lock and unlock buttons as well as the boot release. So what we're going to do is power on the car and take a look around the exterior first. So the S90 is completely keyless. Just press the square pattern here to lock the car. And the mirrors power fold, and then just grab the handle to unlock the vehicle. So this car is finished in magic blue metallic. This here is also the top of the range Inscription model, and it has a few more extras on top of that. It comes with the LED headlights as well as LED fog lamps as standard, and when the indicators are not on, the pattern that's lighting up there is your LED running daylights. The S90 is of course the replacement for the S80, so it's Volvo's biggest, most luxurious family saloon. It also comes with these 20-inch 8-spoke alloy wheels as standard on the Inscription model. And also, for the first time I've ever seen this on a run-of-the-mill mid-range family car, it has Pirelli P0 tyres. So these are the kind of high-performance tyres that Ferrari use in their cars, so they offer magnificent grip. As you can see, it's also got very nice chrome lines going along the bottom of the doors. And if I actually just come up a little closer, on this piece of chrome, it has the model designation. So this is the Inscription, as I said. And of course, you've got your LED indicators in the exterior mirrors, as well as chrome trim around the windows, and the electric sunroof. It is a magnificent looking car. Lovely brand new design. Everything is different from the S80 from the ground up. Now there's three ways you can open the boot. You can use the button underneath the dash, you can use the button on the key fob, or you can just press the button here above the L. And there's a button here also for locking the boot. So the boot space itself is excellent. There's a few things back there. It's got up to 500 litres of room. Very, very good in size. And you also got a small bit of storage off to the right there, as well as a first aid kit as standard. So quite a big boot. More than enough room back there for any items you may be hauling. And also down here you got the model designation. So D4 refers to the engine, which in this case is a 2-litre, and then it just says Inscription there. You also got LED taillights, front and rear parking sensors, as well as a backup camera. And there's also some chrome garnish at the bottom of the bumper as well. Also, the backup camera is located here, which is where the license plate would normally be. You can see that alright there in this light. So moving on to the interior, we're going to start off with the back seats. And this particular S90 has the full charcoal leather interior, and it also has the blonde headlining as well. And it also has, of course, rear sun blinds, and they just clip into these wee hooks up here. It's also got this very nice linear wooden finish as well. Looks really good, and it's got a bit of chrome accenting there as well. This car also is equipped with the Barisan Wilkins sound system. Now this is a very pricey option. I believe it costs the best part of €4,000. You also got a bit of white stitching as well. You can also see it of course on the seats. Looks very nice. You also got your air vents located back here on the B pillars. So in the center, as you can see, there's climate controls for the passengers, and to activate it you just press one of these squares here and you can adjust the temperature for the left and right sides, and then just press that to turn it off. You also got a cigarette lighter located down there as well, and as you can clearly see, there is miles of legroom back here, absolutely tons of it. And the headroom is pretty good as well. The roofline is a little on the low side, but by no means at all is it cramped. There's still a good amount of headroom. Anybody up to 6 feet could easily sit back here, no problem. But the legroom, as I said, it is magnificent. And of course, in the center, you've got your armrest, a little bit of storage, and we have extra storage here as well. And then you also got a pass-through into the boot. So this is a very, very spacious and comfortable car. Incredibly comfortable seats. And you also got LED interior lighting. So let's go ahead and hop into the front. So you got 2-person memory settings for the driver's seat, as well as your central locking controls, power folding exterior mirrors, and your electric window controls. You also got an electric driver's seat, and the passenger seat is fully electric as well. So we'll pull up the window. And we'll just turn the headlights back into automatic. Turn off the hazards, and the fog lamp controls, are just located here. So one thing I did want to talk to you guys about is the key fob once again. Now it's actually color coordinated with the color of the interior. So this has a charcoal black leather key fob. As you can see, it's the very same as the interior. Now McGinley Motors also have another S90 sitting back in the showroom with a full blonde leather interior. So blonde is of course this color here, and the key fob is the same color as that. So located off to the right here, as you can see, you got your boot release that I was talking about earlier. So this car has 33 kilometers on the clock so far. Now the two S90s that McGinley Motors have only arrived at the dealership a few days ago. And this car has so many features on it, I actually even took a brochure along with me just to make sure I didn't leave out anything. But this car has been equipped with the optional LED head-up display winter pack, the family pack, as well as the Exemium pack. Now I'm going to go through all them features in the appropriate part of the video, but I think we'll start off with this part of the car first. So it has a charcoal 3-spoke leather wrap multifunction steering wheel with electric rack companion power assist. And you got all your standard controls on the steering wheel for the cruise control, the trip computer, radio, and a variety of other controls as well, which I'll also demonstrate later. And you got a full digital display on this 12.3-inch screen, and it has an auto dimming interior mirror. And you also got your control here for the glass sunroof, and you also got this manual blind as well. So coming into the center console, we're going to take a look at this 9-inch touchscreen. Now this is the same one used in the XC90, which is the car I plan to review, so it's the exact same system. Now this system is fairly easy to use. Now if you're not used to using high-tech systems in cars like this, you may have to study it for a little while. But for those of you who are used to using high technology in cars, then this should be pretty simple. So there's 3 main screens, all highlighted by this white dot up here. So the one in the middle is the main home screen, but we're going to start off with the very left one, and you just slide your finger over and back. So you got all your settings here for the AM and FM and digital radio, Bluetooth and auxiliary and USB and iPod connectivity and so on. You also got all your things down here for the different sound experience. So if I just turn on the radio, excellent sound quality for the Barisan sound system. So you got a lot of different settings here. You can have a studio sound, an individual sound. As you can see, it all changes a little bit. Concert hall. Sounds fantastic. And then you can adjust the different zones. So all the zones, the driver's zone and the rear passengers. So if I just hit this button here, and we go back to the left. When you have your phone connected to the system, you can also go through all your different apps here like Spotify. You can check the weather, tune in radio, Volvo ID. There is a ton of features in this car actually, so I hope I don't leave anything out. The only manual controls really you have for the radio are just located down here. So you got this dial for the volume, and then you just push in on this here to mute the audio as you wish. And then you also just got the front and rear defrost located down there. So next thing, we'll go into the middle screen. Now this is the main home screen. So you got your satellite navigation display located there, and you can also set your destination and maximize the display as you wish. Very good quality. And when you have your destination set up, you can actually view it on the screen here. I'll show you how to do that a little later on. So what's next? Let's see. Of course, you can select between your different radio stations from here, and you can pair your phone to the Bluetooth system. You can go into the sound experience, which I'll show you guys just a moment ago. And then on the final screen, you got all the car's main functions. So you got your traction control, your lane keeping assist, and the green light there just means it's on or off. You got your parking assist, your start stop system, which I'm going to keep off. Your multiple camera angles. I mean, that's just crazy. I was using this feature, well, very similar feature to these camera angles, and the new Range Rover Vogue. And if I actually just put the car in drive, as you can see, it moves on the screen along with me. I think that is amazing. As you can see, it completely replicates the environment around me. So I'm just going to back it up, and when you do, as you can see, the parking camera and guidance lines come on. Okay, so in park, you got multiple cameras to select from here. So if I click the one on the right, it shows me what's off to the right side, and I believe then cameras are located underneath the exterior mirrors. And you got your park in and park out features. Now I'm actually going to demonstrate the automated parallel parking assist system a little later on. You can also display the lines, the parking assist. There's absolutely tons of stuff in here. I believe we even got a front camera. Yep, there it is. So there's a lot of things to play around with here with the cameras. You also got your park in and park out, which I'll try and demonstrate later on if I get a chance to. But basically, just in case I don't get a chance, if you're trying to parallel park, you turn on the system here by pressing this, and then a car will scan a space on the left, and if it finds one that's big enough, it will actually steer the car into the parking space for you, and all you do is operate the pedals. Now I actually used this in a Volvo V40 a few weeks ago, and it's a fantastic system and it works very well. You can even get on other cars, like I believe the top of the range Kia Ceed and Ford Focus offer this system as well, so it's very impressive. You also got this function here for power folding the headrest. So if I just aim the camera back here, as you can see, they just collapse down, and then to pull them back up you have to manually do it yourself. So you also got a feature here for your heads-up display. You can just adjust the brightness for it if you wish, and if I just zoom in here you can probably see it. And you also got the road sign recognition as well, located off to the right. And you can actually turn on and off the heads-up display by using this feature. So if we just zoom in, that's it on and off. So if I scroll up and down here a little bit, we come into the last part. So you got your heads-up display, as I mentioned. You can also activate and deactivate your blind spot monitoring. You also got your road sign information, which I was talking about earlier. And if you don't want the passenger to be adjusting their seat, you can turn that off. So I have it turned on there. And what's this one here? I accidentally pressed that. That's the cruise control feature. So as you can see, there's a ton of features located there. So that there is the third and final screen, and if I just scroll down here, you can go through your settings and your owner's manual as well, and then just scroll back up to get rid of that. So coming on to the climate controls, you can manually adjust the temperature here on the right. So you got your high and low, and you can of course do it for the passenger as well, and then just hit close to turn that off. If we go into the middle, you can adjust your fan speed, your air conditioning, your front and rear defrost, which of course we have manual controls for, as well as your recirculation. And you can also adjust the rear climate as well. So in a nutshell, that is really the 9-inch touchscreen simplified as best I can. As I said, this car is equipped with a ton of features, probably more than you'll ever use. As a matter of fact, I highly doubt that anybody is going to add many features onto an Inscription model, because it comes with so much as standard. But that is how you use that. It is fairly simple. You really don't have to do too much messing around to get used to it. So coming back to the steering wheel, if I just click this button here, you can display your chip computer. A couple of different versions to go through there. If I press to the right, you can adjust your radio and so on, and then when you have your phone Bluetooth to the system, you can adjust it by clicking right again, and the sat nav, but because neither are set up, it doesn't go anywhere. So if we go back, I'm still getting used to this myself. If I press this middle button, it actually mutes the radio, as you can hear. If I press it again, the sound comes back on. So that's pretty handy to have. What else? If I press the right button, I believe something is meant to happen. Yep, you can adjust the radio stations from here, and then the up and down buttons adjust the volume. So actually that just brings me on to another feature I want to show you guys, located down here. I know we're skipping over a few things, but if I go into the driver's mode, you got Eco, Comfort and Dynamic, and the screen adjusts accordingly. So if I put it into Eco, as you can see, the screen makes a little adjustment when I click into it. And then if we put it back into Comfort, it just goes back to the way it was. Now when you put it into Dynamic, which is the high performance setting, the engine actually idles a little higher as well. So just observe that. Now I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I could hear clearly inside the car the engine did idle higher. And back in Comfort mode, as you can see, it goes down. So I think we'll just leave it in Comfort mode. So coming back into the center console, this car of course has the 8-speed Geartronic transmission. There's just a little button here in the front, and you can shift between park, reverse, neutral and drive, and then you can also change gears manually using the gear stick by pushing it off to the left. And then in here we have, push this back, you just got a small bit of storage, and then you got this area here, so you got a small bit of storage there, a 12-volt power outlet and 2 integrated cup holders. Very handy to have. And we also got this center console. So it's a nice leather armrest, good and padded, plenty of padding in it. You also got your CD player, deep storage, as well as 2 USBs and an auxiliary input. And then we get onto the seats themselves. As you can see on top of the headrest, it has Inscription written on it. And the seats, as you would imagine, are extremely comfortable. These are actually Napa leather. So overall, the interior of this car is extremely impressive. I mean, there's so many features in here. I hope the guy didn't leave out anything on you guys. But I think I've covered just about everything as far as the interior goes. It's a really nice place to sit. It's very comfortable. And because of this 9-inch touchscreen, it frees up a lot of space. So it's very, very neat design. I'm only after noticing there's a small bit of storage located down here. The bonnet release itself is located by this handle on the driver's side footwell. The engine is a 2-litre turbo diesel. It produces 190 brake horsepower with a top speed of 140 miles per hour. It also puts out 295 foot-pounds of torque, and it said this car can do about 64 miles to the gallon. The 4-wheel drive car also features the exact same 2-litre engine, only it produces 235 horsepower and its top speed is 145 miles per hour. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate the automated parallel parking assist. So just going to activate it. So I just drive forward and the car is going to scan on the left for me until it finds an appropriate space. Now I've actually made up one here between 2 V40s. So the car will tell me when it's found one. Okay. So I've stopped the car as I've instructed. It wants me to go forward a bit more actually. Is this good enough, car? Okay. So select reverse and let go of the steering wheel. It's turning, it's turning. Oh my god, this is awesome. All I have to do is operate the pedals here, the brake and the accelerator. This is awesome. Yep, parking sensors are going off. Into drive. Oh my god, this is amazing. Let's see if we can straighten it up a bit more. But the car has done it. This is incredible. Okay, once more, I think should do it. Wow. That's it, that'll do just fine. That is incredible. That is a fantastic system. And the thing is, when the car is steering itself, if you touch the steering wheel, the car will detect it and it will just tell you that there's been manual interference and it will, you know, cancel the system. But that's incredible, that's amazing, it really is. It's very handy, especially in a town or a city where parallel parking can be a bit of a nightmare. So it's brilliant to have that system. Okay, so we're about to start the test drive in the S90. Now, this car doesn't actually have a push button ignition. It actually has this switch down here in the center console. So you turn it to the left to turn off the engine. And if we just turn it to the right, it turns on the power. And then you apply the foot brake and it fires right up. Okay, so we're just coming out to the dual carriageway now, and we're going to see what the S90 is like on power. Okay, so straighten up, foot down, and off you go. Wow, that is good. It's got a very healthy 2-litre diesel engine. As it says, it's got 190 horsepower, but it pulls so strong. It is fantastic. And the thing is, it's so quiet in doing it. I mean, it doesn't make any loud noises, you know, as you'd expect from a diesel. That's so smooth and crisp. And speaking of smooth and crisp, this 8-speed Geartronic gearbox is magnificent. The gear changes are seamless. You really don't notice them at all. So one thing I should tell you guys, before I actually got out here off camera, I was sitting at a set of traffic lights and a guy pulled up beside me in a Mitsubishi L200 pickup truck, and then he was like, the car looks fantastic, you know, and he was asking me about it. So this thing certainly gets looks anyway. It's also a really big car. I mean, this is about the size of a 5 Series. I actually think this car is probably a little longer than a BMW 5 Series. But in terms of luxury and equipment and just overall driving experience, it's definitely up there with the 5 Series, Mercedes E-Class and the Audi A6. Now this one, as I said, is the top spec Inscription model with a few extras on it. So the total price for this car now is about 72,000 euros. So this is pretty damn expensive if I'm honest, but I think majority of people that were going to buy an S90, they probably may go for an Inscription but might not go for as many options on it. So it does come out pretty pricey at the end of it all. Now other things, this is the front wheel drive model with the D4 engine, as I was saying. Now there is an all-wheel drive model with a D5 power pulse. So that is the same 2-litre diesel engine that's in this, but it puts out 235 horsepower. And of course you got the advantages of the 4-wheel drive system. Now realistically, with 4-wheel drive systems in cars like this, it's still primarily front-wheel drive, but when the car feels it's in need of extra grip, the rear wheels kick in. But at the moment, I'm loving the S90. I mean, this is fantastic, man. A few weeks ago, I was out driving a Mercedes E-Class, and I thought, oh, this is as nice as it gets with German executive saloons. But now, Volvo from Sweden bring us this car, and it's just, oh, it's fantastic. And the other thing is this heads-up display here. It's telling me how fast I'm going. But if I nudge it just over 100 kilometers an hour, the speed limit thingy actually flashes to let me know that I've actually gone over the speed limit. And then we get onto the styling. I actually think this car looks very nice from the outside. It certainly has a lot of presence. It's got a very big front end. The LED headlights look fantastic, and it's got a lovely designed interior. It's nicely crafted. Everything's very simple. The one thing actually that I have found a flaw with, believe it or not, is the climate controls. Now bear with me on this. When I'm driving around in my Opel Astra, if I want to adjust the temperature or the zone, I can just sit as normal and look out the window, and I can just reach down and I can fiddle with the knobs and dials, and I can get it the way I like it without ever having to take my eyes off the road. Now this is the key thing to keep an eye on here. Because there is no manually operated controls for the climate control in this car, it means every time you want to adjust something, you have to look at the screen, because obviously there's no buttons or anything to press, so you can't actually just feel your way around. So it does mean you're going to have to take your eyes off the road for a split second to adjust the climate control. I think that's the only negative thing I can find with this car at the moment. Now I know, you know, you can argue that it means that there's less, you know, buttons and stuff in the center console. Fair enough, okay? That means, you know, everything can be a touch screen, you have a neater display, but I do think there should be manual controls down here for the likes of the air conditioning, just so that you don't have to take your eyes off the road. You can just reach down, yep, got my zone and heat sorted out there, without having to take your eyes off the road. Now that's just my own little criticism, but it is something I noticed when I was driving out here earlier today. And the other little thing I noticed, this is actually brilliant. I'm out in a dual carriageway at the moment. Now normally the speed limit here is 100 kilometers an hour, but back there was roadworks, and there actually still is roadworks, but back there the speed limit was reduced to 60 kilometers, and the car actually knew that because it told me it was 60 and now it's gone back up to 100. So this car actually can tell you when the speed limit is reduced or increased or whatever the case may be on a road. That is very handy to have, it's brilliant. So out here on the back roads, the car's suspension, which is multi-link in the rear of course, is absorbing all these bumps fantastically, and the handling is excellent as well. A small bit of body roll, but overall this thing handles really, really nicely. And also them Pirelli P0 tires are going to help massively with the handling as well. There's so much grip from this car. So heading back into town now. So to summarize the S90, well, what can I say? This is a brilliant, brilliant car. Volvo have done a magnificent job with it. Inside and out, I think it looks very nice. It's beautifully crafted, beautifully designed. And as far as equipment goes, my God, there's more stuff in this particular Inscription model than you can shake a stick at. There's so much in this car. Now, as far as pricing goes, this particular one with nearly every option on it, bar one or two things, is €72,000, as I said earlier. Now, I do have all the specs and prices and what have you for this car, and I will of course be listing them in the description box below, so make sure to check that out. Now, there are two models. There is the Momentum and there is the Inscription. Now, I believe the Momentum is somewhere around the €48,000 mark, but as I said, all them details will be listed below, along with all the details from McGinley Motors. So if you're interested in the S90, please check out all that data below. This car, I love it anyway. I think it's brilliant. It's definitely a car worth checking out if you're in the market for an executive, luxurious, well-equipped family saloon. Definitely check out the S90. So anyway, I'm just going to finish up the review now. I hope I didn't leave out any features in this car. As I said, I was trying to memorize everything earlier, and this car's got so much stuff on it. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.